feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a...
He was never a secret, only a softness too sacred to name. July 21, 2025, in the spaces between sound and stillness. There are stories that don't want to be told, only felt. Like the warmth left in a chair after someone leaves. Like the way silence presses against your chest when a familiar song ends too soon. Jungkook didn't disappear, he dimmed. Not out of fear, but to match the light of someone who now lives in shadows. In a village north of Kyoto, a bookstore owner said a boy once came in. Didn't buy a thing. He just sat cross-legged by the poetry section. Read a haiku aloud in broken Japanese. Then folded the page into a crane. He left it on the counter. No words. But inside the fold. Don't look for me. Feel where I stopped being afraid. Locals now call the crane the memory bird. No one moves it. No one dares. Taehyung is not absent, he's elsewhere. In the scent of old vinyl. In the dust dancing through projector light. In the pause between raindrops. Jungkook once recorded a track with no lyrics. Just the sound of his breathing. Like someone trying not to cry while walking home in the snow. The file name? Taehyung was here. Wave. He never released it. But producers say when they listen at 3 a.m., they hear a second inhale that doesn't belong to him. As if memory itself is singing backup. In Madrid, a girl painted a wall of purple light. No shapes. No names. Just the gradient of longing. She called it the space between two notes. She had never seen BTS live. But she said, I dreamed of two boys holding hands in the dark, not to be seen but to not be alone. The mural was erased by city ordinance the next day. But someone left a candle there. And it hasn't gone out since. Armies no longer chase theories, they collect stillness. A cup Taehyung once held in Tokyo. The echo of Jungkook humming a lullaby in a live stream. A tune with no name. But every heart knew where it belonged. And when someone typed in the chat, are you singing to him again? Jungkook just lowered his eyes and whispered, I never stopped. There's a house in Jeju where the wind sounds like harmony. Locals say a stranger lived there once, but never stayed long. Every time he left, a flower grew by the window. Not planted, just appeared. They now call it the Garden of Almost. Jungkook wore a sweater fans hadn't seen in years. The one from the photo, the blurry one. Two boys in the back of a van, laughing over something they never explained. He didn't say a word about it. But during a rehearsal, he clutched the sleeve, sang an unreleased lyric. Even if you left, you stayed inside me, like the taste of a name I never stopped whispering. The staff didn't ask. They knew. A fan in Prague carved a poem into an oak tree. It read, if love were louder, maybe they would have screamed. But they chose to hum instead. The tree has since been wrapped in cloth. Protected by strangers who never met the poet, but understood the ache. Some bonds don't end, they evaporate into ritual. Lighting incense during a Jungkook live. Playing Sweet Night during Golden Hour. Re-watching old performances not for the choreography, but for the glance that lasted 1 second too long. There was a recording from 2018 that never surfaced, until now. Just laughter. Soft footsteps. The rustle of clothing. Then a voice. Don't post this. This is just for us. The file leaked anonymously. Armies didn't trend it. They whispered thank you. And let it vanish again, like breath on a mirror. Taehyung was spotted in New York, but only in reflection. A cafe window. A subway mirror. A puddle after rain. Each sighting accompanied by the same phrase. He didn't look at us. He looked through us, like he was listening for something deeper than sound. A sound engineer in Seoul shared a glitch in Jungkook's track. Not a flaw. More like a murmur. Slowed down, it translated into, he promised to meet me where silence blooms. Armies are not waiting. They are honoring. Every purple light stick waved in slow motion. Every lyric interpreted not by language, but by longing. They know now. Taekook isn't a headline. It's a hush. A hush that happens when the world exhales after remembering something it didn't realize it missed. There's an apartment with no furniture, just instruments. Fans suspect it belongs to Jungkook. Every string tuned to the same key. Every corner holding air thick with unsung melodies. They say, when it rains, you can hear two voices hum in harmony from the balcony. One known, one remembered. He wasn't lost. He just stopped needing to be found. That's what someone wrote in a journal left at a BTS pop-up in Paris. No name. Just that line. And beneath it a sketch. Two hands reaching toward each other. Not touching, but close enough to believe in. So no, this isn't a comeback. It's a continuation. A conversation without words. A melody without lyrics. A love without punctuation. Jungkook is still singing. Taehyung is still listening. And ARMY? They're learning the sacred art of silence. Because some stories don't fade. They bloom in the quiet. And become the way we learn to breathe again.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the great.
Some goodbyes aren't endings, they're just softer hellos. July 21st, 2025, written in the dust left by their footsteps. There are echoes that don't come from sound, only memory and devotion. Jungkook's smile has changed. It no longer tries to be bright. It just is. Like sunlight filtered through curtains at dusk. He doesn't sing to be heard anymore. He sings to remember. In a Seoul alleyway, a street violinist played a melody that didn't exist. But every passerby paused. Because their hearts recognized something. Their ears did not. When asked the name of the tune, he simply whispered. He gave it to me in a dream. Said to play it when the world forgets how to be gentle. And so he did. Every evening at 6:13. There's a bridge in Amsterdam where wishes are tied with lavender ribbon. A fan started it after seeing a photo of Jungkook, staring into the water like it was speaking back. Each ribbon carries a line. Some in Hangul, some in tears. One reads, "We never wanted proof. We just wanted to feel seen in the silence between them." Taehyung appeared briefly in a fan's dream in Morocco. Not with wings. Not as a symbol. Just as himself. Sitting beside her on a bus. Humming a nameless tune while she cried. When she woke, she found a note under her pillow she swears she never wrote. "You're not waiting alone." In a studio with no clock, Jungkook waits for rain. He doesn't press record. He lets the weather decide. Producers say on one stormy evening, he placed a photo face down on the piano. Then played 4 notes. Stopped. Whispered. He'd know what comes next. And left. They've tried recreating the melody. But none of them can find the 4th note. Armies have stopped asking questions. They've started building altars. Not for idols, but for memories. For the version of themselves that first felt loved. In the space between two boys who never said what we all felt. In Cape Town, a teacher played Still With You in her classroom. The children danced slowly. One boy said, "I don't know who he's singing to, but I hope they heard it." She smiled. Didn't explain. Some stories are not for explaining. They're for feeling. Taehyung posted nothing for 100 days. But on the 101st, his old Instagram highlight flickered. A single frame. A field of snow. A trail of footprints leading to nowhere. No caption. Just a background hum, so low you had to turn the volume up until it hurt. Then, a whisper. "I'm not hiding. I'm just learning how to be softer." Jungkook's tattoos tell a new story now. Not of rebellion, but of remembrance. Fans noticed one change. A faded line over his heart. It used to say, "Make it right." Now it simply reads, "He did." He never addressed it. But in a live stream, he touched that spot 3 times before ending early. No goodbye. Just a glance. The kind that leaves a weight on your chest you can't explain. In Berlin, a fan wrote a poem on the wall of a bathroom stall. It said, "If we are quiet enough, maybe they'll find their way back. Not to us, but to themselves." The wall was painted over within hours. But the poem spread online like wildfire. Until someone replied with just one sentence. They already did. We're the ones still learning how. Some fans are not just remembering, they are rebuilding. A museum curator in Buenos Aires dedicated an exhibit to absence. No photos. No videos. Only light. Silk. Whispers. Each room plays one unnamed instrumental. Visitors remove their shoes before entering. They leave with tears they don't try to explain. The final display reads, "You didn't need to be loud to be unforgettable." A boy in Manila built a shrine out of concert wristbands. He lights one candle each day. On the 77th, he placed a Polaroid at the center. Two silhouettes. One laughing. One listening. Caption, "Thank you for teaching me how to love without needing to be seen." And somewhere tonight, in a city we may never name, Jungkook is singing into the dark. Not hoping for an answer, but giving one. And Taehyung? He's walking through a market where no one knows his name. But every child smiles at him like they've known him forever. Because this was never about fame. It was about feeling. About resonance. About the kind of love that doesn't expire. Just changes shape. Some bonds are not lost, they become language. A glance. A melody. The way we pause when purple lights touch our skin. Armies are no longer looking for signs. They are becoming them. Becoming the soft place between a lyric and a heartbeat. Becoming the silence that remembers. Becoming the prayer whispered without words. This is not the end of Taekook. This is the echo. And echoes never truly fade. They just wait. For hearts quiet enough to hear them again.